Hello, it's nice to see you guys without Ajax climbing all over me. So the point of this video is to check up on how I am doing. I have not updated on myself hardly at all. I know this channel, I'm sure most of you are here to see Ajax, and that's totally fine. Feel free to skip away from the video if you don't care. But if you are looking to get a puppy, I think this would be a good time investment because I'm going to talk about how everything's going and what it's like to raise a puppy. It's a lot more work than you think it would be. And if you're raising a puppy right now, hopefully you can watch this and be like, oh my gosh, I'm not alone. Thank goodness. That's what I've been doing. I'll go online and look up a question on an online forum or something, and I'm like, oh, people are dealing with this too. I feel so much better. Because puppies are going to try your patience. That's what they do. Where do I even start? Again, I have not updated on myself ever since I've gotten him. I talked about the first few days with him. So that was definitely difficult, establishing a schedule. But once the schedule was established, it got a lot easier. But Ajax has gone through several life stages now. He is now 17 weeks old. He's just in the adolescent stage at this point. And boy, is he ever. He has got an independent streak on him like it's no one's business. This is a particularly challenging time for me. I think in the last week or so, I've felt the most stressed almost compared to the rest of it. Like each stage you go through, you think it's hard, but then when you hit the next stage, it gets worse. And I keep looking online and reading all these life stages, websites and stuff, and they just make it seem like this is never gonna end. And you know what? It is going to. It's gonna get better. It will, I promise. It's just, you gotta hang in there and don't freak out so much. Like I'm one to talk. I freak out pretty frequently. But basically, he's taken up all my time. So that should be something you should expect. They don't have to take up all your time, but if you don't invest time in them now, you're going to be investing way more time later trying to undo everything that they learned incorrectly. So I know this investment's going to be worth it at the end. I'm going to tangent out really quick and update on myself, in my own life without Ajax involved. Basically, I think I mentioned way back in some of my first vlogs before I even got him that I was currently unemployed because I wanted to be here for the first couple of weeks to transition Ajax in and be there for him and bond with him. Well, that couple of weeks turned into a couple of months, but I started looking for jobs last month, I believe. I applied for 2 positions at Mayo Clinic here, and it took a while and I just assumed that nothing was happening. Then I got an email saying that my resume was forwarded to the hiring manager, and that happened for both positions. So I was like, cool. And then I didn't hear back for a couple weeks, so I'm going, okay, so looks like I didn't make the cut. And then I get some emails. I got an interview for both positions. So I went in and interviewed, and they both warned me that they were interviewing, for a couple weeks still, so I probably wouldn't hear back for a little bit. And then I got the exciting email from the one job I wanted more than the other, which is a research assistant position in the Department of Gastroenterology and Hepatology. Big words, basically your digestive system. It's the best way to put it. So I'll be helping out the research team with the research they're conducting. And I'm going to leave it at that. I don't want to say too much. But ultimately what I wanted to do for a career is medical research. So this is a great start. I'm starting at the very bottom, but it's still a foot in the door, and I'm going to get great experience, and I can move up within the company now that I have my foot in the door. So and the other position I think was going to offer me a job there too, but I had already taken the research one and I wanted that one more than the other one. So lucky me, I guess. That was awesome. I've only interviewed and successfully applied for a job just one other time back in California, so that was pretty awesome. I'll be starting work on Halloween, and I believe it's a 1-year-long position. So once that 1 year's starting to draw to a close, I'll just apply to another part in the clinic. It's huge. So I'm pretty darn pumped. I'm excited to get back to work. I need to start making money again because I've been living off my savings this entire time. It's gonna be a good thing. And Ajax is now getting old enough where, my parents, they could have done this regardless, but he's easier to manage in a way now that he's older, even though he's acting like a total brat. But my parents can watch after him while I'm at work. So that works out just great. And, he's fast approaching to where he can be, pretty independent at this point. He doesn't, you gotta watch him, but it's not like if he was 8 weeks old and you gotta be watching him like a hawk, otherwise he's gonna pee the second you turn around or he disappears, Once they hit about like 6 months old, yes, it's very difficult to deal with, but you can trust them to be around you more. Don't take your eyes off them, but you can trust to be around them more. That's pretty much it on my personal life, sadly. Like I said, most of it's been taken up by Ajax. I haven't really done much else, so now that I'll be working, it'll be better off. I need something to do. I think in terms of, raising a puppy, each stage they go through presents a new challenge for you, but things also get easier at the same time in certain ways, and other things get harder in certain ways. For like, I didn't realize how easy it was when he was, 8 to 10 weeks old. All you had to do was feed him, take him out to go potty quite frequently, play with them for like 20 minutes maybe, and then they sleep like all day. Oh, those were the days. But now, in this stage, yes, he needs exercise. Yes, he needs to play more. But I don't have to be like hovering on him like crazy. He doesn't need to go out as much as he used to. He can hold his bladder way longer. And he's learning now. I'm starting to train him how to be a polite dog. Which within itself is really difficult, but it's worth the effort. Once they finally get it and you keep reinforcing it, it just makes it so worth it. So in terms of that, I guess I should talk about training in a way. I don't want to like rattle on about, you need to do this, you need to do that. I'm just sharing, I want to say common knowledge, but I suppose this is my opinion and my philosophy, though I know many people share it because I've read it everywhere, and I follow through with it in my own life. You want to train your dog from the moment it comes home. I think there's a misconception that you should wait till they're 6 months old to start training them. I could not imagine what Ajax would be like right now if I hadn't done any training with him. He would be unbearable. How do you do that? I seriously don't understand how you would do that. Like, I literally started training him right when he came home. The first lesson was going potty. I was teaching him his potty command. Every time we went to the bathroom, I'd say the command. When you're starting out teaching potty training, when they go out and then they actually start doing it, then you start saying the command. I don't want to say the command because our older dog's up here too, but I'm going to make up a command here, like go potty. So once they start peeing or whatever, you say go potty, good potty, good potty. And then every time they go outside, just keep saying softly, like, go potty. And then when they finally do go potty, say, good job, good potty, very good, and then eventually they learn what it means. I can tell that to Ajax, I say his command, and if he has to go, within a minute or less, he goes and does it. So like I said, I started that from day one. And then from there, you can teach an 8-week-old puppy to sit. It takes a little more effort, but you can do it. But if you go back and watch all my update videos on him, I mention the training in each video, and you'll see from 8 weeks, 9 weeks, I was teaching him, how to sit, lay down, and everything. It's really not too difficult. If anything, it's easier if you start when they're young, because they have a clean slate, and they're wanting to pay attention to you because you're bonding. So that's my opinion, and I think it's a pretty darn good one. And like I said, a lot of people have said that now too. It's just become a misconception to wait till they're 6 months old, and to me that's just a big mistake, because they're adolescent by the time they're 6 months old. They're not going to want to listen to you. They're going to want to go off and go please themselves. And in that well, it's not 6 months, in that 4 months where you weren't training them, they were training themselves. They've taught themselves some behaviors. So you notice all of a sudden at 6 months, you're like, okay, I need to train you not to jump because you're jumping on everyone like a maniac. Well, that's going to take some effort to undo because they thought that was okay because you never corrected them for it. That's my little rant on training, I guess, but honestly, if you haven't started now, do it. Just take some time out of every day. I've made a video on clicker training. I'll put a card up top. You can learn how to clicker train your dog. It makes the process so much easier. One thing that I've gone through with Ajax that I've never gone through with any dog before is teething. Ajax is the first dog I've ever raised from 8 weeks old. And yeah, this teething thing is very interesting. It was kind of freaking me out a little bit at first because he'd be chewing on a toy and all of a sudden it's covered in blood. But you kind of get used to it, and it bothers Ajax, but it's not like a human, you know, they don't tell you all the time like, oh, my mouth hurts, like, I don't feel good, or oh my gosh, I lost a tooth. Like, I don't even think they notice. Ajax and Callie are playing tug of war, and I think he lost like 2 teeth doing that. But his adult teeth are starting to come in, and they look so nice. And I'm really excited for the adult teeth because they're duller than the sharp puppy teeth. And that's also one thing that reminds me, you should train your puppy bite inhibition. Start right away, and I mean right away. You want to teach them to have a very soft bite. I mean, ultimately you don't want them to bite you at all, but when they're puppies, they're gonna bite everything. That's what they do. So what you want to do is train them to be very soft. Every time that he would bite me, I would yelp. And I can mimic a dog's yelp really well. I've startled my parents so many times. Like, they'll come running like, is he okay? I'm like, yeah, he's fine. You should ask me if I'm okay, because he's the one that's biting me. They think that he kept getting hurt, but it was me, because I can mimic a yelp really well. But let me explain why I yelp. When puppies play with each other when they're litter mates, if one bites the other too hard, they will yelp, and then that lets the one that was biting know that he bit too hard, so next time he doesn't bite so hard. It's just kind of like speaking their language. Yes, I will do a yelp. I'm not sure if I want to do it because our Callie's up here relaxing and I just don't feel like making a commotion. But, or you can yell high pitch like, ow! And it kind of sounds like a yelp. And what else can you do? I've always just yelped. Oh, okay. So if you don't want to yelp or you cannot yelp, you can, the second they bite you, just say, no bite, and get up, turn around, and ignore them. That way they learn that the fun stops if they bite you. So then they should learn to stop doing it. Eventually, you want to whittle that down to where they're barely putting any pressure on you anymore. So each time he'd put his teeth, even if it didn't hurt, but I felt like it was starting to be a little too much pressure, I'd yelp. So each time he would bite a little softer. So now I've got it to where he just mouths me, literally. He just kind of gingerly puts his mouth on my hand, but he does not apply any pressure. And there's no fun in that for them, you know. The second they know they have to be ginger, they're like, forget it, and they just let go of your hand. He's done very well. I'm just waiting for the adult teeth now. It's impossible for them not to hurt with those sharp puppy teeth in their mouth. I've noticed where the adult teeth are when he starts to bite me. Oh, it's so soft. So I think I've done good on the bite inhibition now. But I still have marks. Do you want to... I'll see if I can show you the marks I have from him biting me. See if I can get the camera to focus on it. Okay, can you see right there? His tooth went through my hand right there. And that did feel very good. Okay, so you see that dot right there? That's from another tooth going into my hand. It's just gonna happen. I've been very, very careful about avoiding being bit, but it is literally impossible. I think I've actually gotten the light end of it. Like I said, I had that one mark here, the one mark here, and my arms did get marked up for a while, just a little. But you know what did the most damage was he clawed me before I had his claws trimmed, and I actually have a scar from that now. I already know I've probably talked for about a half an hour already, and there's no way in heck I'm letting this video get that long. For the most part, guys, just hang in there. It will get better. Like a couple days ago, I was just really starting to be like, you know what, I feel like I kind of wish I never got him because it's being a little bit inconvenient. He won't listen to me. I have to fight him every step of the way. You know, he used to just do whatever I asked, and now he won't do a single thing, and I have to sit there and be like, come on, let's go. But now he's behaving great. Half of it I feel like is the teething. I think it's making him grumpy. I mean, shoot, it probably hurts a lot. And I'm sure you've noticed in the background of many of my videos, there is a sea of toys. Let me tell you this though, as ridiculous as that may look, as expensive as that may look, guess what? He has not chewed up a single thing he's not supposed to. Not one. Again, like I said way back in my puppy haul video, there is no such thing as too many toys. The more they're distracted with their own toys, the less of a chance they're gonna go after something of yours. Now, on top of that, that doesn't mean you can dump them in a room full of toys and expect them to only chew on their toys and leave your stuff alone. That is incorrect. You need to watch them like a hawk. Like I've said, don't let them out of your sight. Don't assume that they're gonna behave themselves. You need to watch them. But if you have more toys available, they won't get bored and start seeking out your items. Even with all those toys, Ajax will sometimes go over to like the TV stand and say, I think I want to bite it. And I have to say, nope, get back to your toys. But 90% of the time it keeps him occupied and he knows those are his to chew on. I'd say just do your research. There is no shame in Googling stuff. If you feel like you're stuck, you can always contact a trainer, a veterinarian. They're good resources if you have questions. Every time I take him to the vet, I make sure I have some questions to ask. The vet is one of the best resources to ask questions about your dog because they know dogs. I mean, not to say you should take everything they say for, the absolute golden truth, that's the only way it can be done. But, for basic questions, like I was asking my vet when I took him in last time, I said, he's teething. What can I give him to help him out? She said, well, there's not really anything you can do to help. She said, I would take away those nylobones that you're giving him. And I said, oh shoot, okay, I'll do that. She said, pig ears are good, but she doesn't recommend them for older dogs. And rawhide. Now, I know rawhide is a very hot topic. People are like, oh, rawhide's the devil, and other people are like, rawhide's great. I am in the middle zone. It is great to keep him entertained. He loves chewing on it, and I think it helps him with his teething. And I think it helps clean their teeth too. But you cannot leave them alone with rawhide. Don't leave your dog alone with rawhide. You need to keep your eye on them. They can choke on it, and if they break off a big piece and swallow it, it can expand and clog up their digestive system. So it is something to use with supervision. With Ajax, I get him these sheets of rawhide. I forget what they call them. I think chips. I think the rawhide chips. They're like a thin sheet like this long, but it's like really thin. I'll superimpose a picture over this video so you can see. I give those to him, and then once it gets small enough to where he can't sit and chew on it, hold it in his paws and chew on it, and he's got it all in his mouth, I take it away from him because that is a choking hazard and I don't want him to swallow it whole. I think the general rule of thumb is if the rawhide gets small enough that they can fit it in their entire mouth, you need to take it away. That's just what I've learned, that's what I've experienced, and that's what I'm doing for him. I think I've covered everything now. Just try and keep your sanity, you guys. It does get better. Like I said, he's doing much better the last couple days than he's been in a really long time. There's gonna be hard days. I've Googled it, don't worry, it's true. There's hard days. And you're just gonna have to try and do your best to be patient and understanding through those days and hold firm on your rules. Don't let them bully you out of your rules, okay? For a while, he just kept jumping. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna teach this guy to stop jumping. He's not listening. But I'll tell you what, past couple days, he's hardly jumped up at all. It's because I praise the crap out of him when he stays on the ground. And I give him a sharp off if he jumps up on me. Or my parents or anyone else. Just stay at it. They will learn eventually. The tighter you hold on to those rules, the less you let them get away with, the less confused they are, and they will come out better for it. So just hang tight, hang in there. You'll make it. And at the end, you'll have a great dog. So I'm really excited to see what comes in the future. I know he's going to be entering adolescence in a couple of months. I've already said he's in his adolescent stage, but I'm talking about when, puberty hits. He's really gonna start challenging me, and that's not gonna be fun. But you just gotta hold firm and hold your ground. Hang on. I'll do it. I'll get through it. And, hopefully end result, Ajax should be this awesome, awesome dog. We'll see. Anyways, this is way too long. I need to eat lunch, so thank you guys for watching. I hope this video helped. Hang on to your sanity, guys. You can do it. Thanks for watching. Bye.